Ahoy, hoy, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the O Show. I'm O, and I'm here for your amusement. Okay, so I was just thinking the other day, I haven't done like a naughty review in a while. I think the last time I did a sexy review was back when I did Sliver. Sliver. It was so stupid. What was that, like a year ago or something? And so I was like, what should I do? What should I talk about? And this movie popped into my head, you guys. So, a little backstory of our review for today. So so this movie is called Inner Sanctum, okay? And now, if you read some parts of it, like on IMDb, it'll say the movie is 1991, but then it says it's the release date of 92. So I'm really confused. Now, I thought I saw this movie in 91, but the more I kind of think about it, it could have been 92. I don't know. But this movie came out in like early 90s when there was nothing but like whenever they tried to do softcore porn movies, it was all these dumb thrillers and mysteries. You know, they try to give you a backstory and then just for no reason there's a sex scene. So anyway, I remember it was the first movie that me and my brother watched. Because we were shown this movie by someone. Someone showed us this movie. I'm not going to say who, right? And it was funny because this movie was the first one where we collectively looked at each other and was like, no, this is crap. Because when I first met him in 91, he was watching Star Wars and things like that. And then I was watching like Whoopi Goldberg and Jumpin' Jack Flash, you know, like we were just on two different pages when it came to movies. And then we were shown this movie and we're like, yeah, that was crap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and just what's kind of weird about this movie too. It's kind of weird to me, but like I said, if we see it in 92, then we'll just say 92, right? But it's funny because once in a while we will bring the movie up. Like, remember that time we watched this movie? But we never saw it. It was just not available anywhere. So, you guys, it wasn't until 2022 I actually found the movie streaming on Amazon Prime, of all places. So Prime Video had it, and I bought it because I'm pretty sure it had to be like $3.99. It was something cheap. I'm not paying $10 for a movie. This is how old it is. But and then we watched it and we laughed and just everything came back. But it's so funny, like from 92 to 22, like there was that anniversary of like when we first saw it and the last time we saw it, because he ended up passing away in 23. But that was just always weird. I kind of thought about it like, oh my God, like the timing on it is weird. So, with all that said, this is an awful movie, y'all. We are going to talk about it right now. So we start the movie with a husband and wife in the bed. And the wife is looking at her husband. He's asleep. And she's over here like, what the fuck are you dreaming about? Like, who are you dreaming about, motherfucker? So I guess she got sick of his like shenanigans or something. We don't even know what the shenanigans are. It's not like he's moaning and saying someone else's name. He is literally asleep in the bed. And she's looking at him just with a side eye. Just, who are you dreaming about? That's it. I can't take it no more. So she decides to off herself, y'all. So the wife's name is Jennifer. Then they call her Jen, and he says Jenny. So anyway, it's Jennifer. She's played by an actress named Valerie Wildman. And then the husband's name is Baxter. And their last name is Reed in the movie. So Baxter is played by a man named Joseph Bottoms. Now, I don't know if I thought about this back in 92, but rewatching this movie now for this review, there's no way you could not tell me this man was not a porn star. Whose name is Joseph Bottoms? And you're doing softcore porn movies? Yeah, that's funny. Apparently he's not. He's been in other movies. Like everyone in this cast, by the way, especially one actress, when I get to her, I was like, oh my God, I don't even think I realized this. But yeah, they've all gone and done other things, non-booby related movies and things. Like some people have done voiceovers or whatever. But anyway, So she goes downstairs and swallows a whole bunch of sleeping pills, right? And she thinks that, she's just going to pass out and that's it. But no, she gets this like horrible pain in her stomach, and now she's regretting the whole thing. So her ass is coming up the stairs, trying to call out for her husband. And when she gets to the top of the stairs, she passes out. It falls her ass down the stairs, right? Okay, so let's talk about this man who's falling down the stairs in the wig. That's not her. So I guess the husband heard the commotion and came out and found her. So now in the next scene, she wakes up from bed, and you're like, oh, is she in the hospital? She survived? But no, she's in her bedroom, in her bed. And you're like, oh, is she okay? But no, she like crawls into a wheelchair. So you're like, what the? How much time has gone by? They don't tell you until later. It's been like 3 months. But apparently we're like 3 months later. I guess they didn't have the budget to just say 3 months later at the bottom of the screen. But anyway, here's the husband is trying to sneak his ass out the house. She catches him. And he's like, oh, I'm going to work. I got this interview or this meeting with this restaurant or something. And she's like, well, who are you going with? And he's like, well, I'm going with Anna. And she's like, Anna, ooh, how long are you going to be working together? Blah, blah, blah. So then he just goes off. He's like, look, bitch, like, I don't know why you keep thinking I'm cheating on you. Like, I am not cheating on you. So, like, shut the hell up, right? But surprise, surprise, the next scene, he's cheating. So Anna comes into his office, and of course, he starts seducing her. And they're over here talking about, like, oh, I love you. I love you too. But then at one point, she decides she wants to end the relationship. And now she's like, I hate you. Girl, you just said you loved like 2 minutes ago. Okay. So like I said, you guys, this is a booby movie. So this is our first scene where we see some titties. I should have like a countdown every time like titties is said in this video. I feel like we're going to be saying it a lot. Okay, so we have our first sex scene. He bangs Anna on the door. And it's so funny because the secretary hears this and she's like keeping tally of how many times they're banging in the office. So, yeah. All right, so Anna, you guys, is played by this actress named Margot Hemingway, who is the worst actress. Oh, man. That I can remember ever watching. Like I get movies like this, if you're like blonde and your body's good or whatever, like men don't care. Or whoever the audience is for this movie. But yeah, her acting is like atrocious. It's atrocious. Oh, we just came up with a new word. Atrocious, you guys. Yes, that is her acting in this. It's so bad. So that night, Baxter is helping Jen into bed and she's like, can you help me take off my robe? And I'm laughing. I'm like, bitch, your legs are... Oh, by the way, she's in a wheelchair because she's paralyzed from the waist down, right? So she's like, can you help me take off my robe? And I'm like, this bitch don't take the robe off herself. Like, your arms still work. All you gotta do is do this. Done. So he does it. And then he ends up like removing the straps too of her like nightgown top thing or whatever. And then he thinks he's gonna get busy, but she's like, no, oh my God. I'm so sick. He's like, you ain't sick. You fell out the stairs. You did that shit on your own. So we get another shot of titties! Just because, we have to. So then the next day, apparently he hired this nurse to come and take care of his wife. So this nurse pulls up and she has 2 luggages in her hands. So I'm like, oh, okay, she's a living nurse, right? And she has a little nurse outfit on. Try to be all professional, which is funny. I'm gonna say this now in case I forget. There's times where she's wearing this nurse outfit through the day, but then there's sometimes she's walking around looking like Debbie Gibson. Like she has like this hat on, she has like jean clothes on. Like, are you on duty or are you off duty? It's like sometimes she dresses like she's off duty, but she's still working. And then all of a sudden, like a week later or something, she's back in her nurse outfit. Like, I don't understand what's happening with the wardrobe with this lady. So this is Lynn. What the hell's her last name? Foster. Lynn Foster, right? Now, when the husband greets her at the door, he's like, oh, are you Miss, I think Comstock or something is her name? And she goes, no, that was my married name. I go by Lynn Foster now. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. I guess it's important to the story. Okay, you guys, so this actress is played by Tanya Roberts. Now, if you don't know who Tanya Roberts is, it kind of like I'm looking at her and I was like, she kind of looks familiar. Like I know I've seen her in other things, which technically would be after this movie, but before rewatching this movie, I'm like, this lady looks super familiar. So I waited till after the movie to look it up. So y'all, Tanya Roberts, an actress who's been in a lot of things, is showing her titties in this movie, but she is Midge in that 70s show. She plays Donna's mom. I wish I knew this when I was watching that 70s show, because I could have been like, I seen that lady's titties. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so anyway, she comes in, she meets Jennifer, then Baxter's like, okay, let me tell you where you're staying or show you. And then, oh, and also too, Anna ends up coming to the house. So Anna comes to the house because she can't wait till Monday to tell Baxter news about the interview or meeting or whatever she had on Friday. So Anna's there, who is now Jen's like, that's the mistress in her eyes, even though she is. And then now you got this other blonde lady in the house, Lynn. So Anna does this, or Jen does this thing where she wheels herself to the top of, well, she's already at the top of the stairs, but she wheels herself to the balcony and she gets up and like starts hitting herself against the banister. And then unplanned, the wheelchair slips and then her ass goes tumbling down the stairs again for the second time. I don't understand why this lady's still alive. And so Lynn goes and gets Baxter outside, who's talking to Anna. So Anna, now all four of them in the house. Now, here's the part where the person that showed us this movie, he claimed that he only watches the movie because of this part. And we're all like, this is why you keep watching this movie? So, now, I don't know. Now, I know movies can be edited after the fact, and I don't know why they edited this part. Maybe it was on the actress's request. I mean, that's your fault for saying it. But here's this line. Listen to this line that Anna says.
Do you think he did this deliberately?
That's exactly what I think.
Okay, so she says, do you think she did it deliberately? Right? Nothing funny there, right? But back in 92, you guys, I swear, because we even laughed too. We're like, okay, yeah, that's pretty funny. This lady says, do you think she did it deliberately? And then we all laughed. We're like, okay, yeah, we get it. How did we go from her saying deliberately to deliberately? Like, I get the right way to say it. But I think they dubbed it after all these years, because now when she says the actual word, the camera cuts back to Baxter. So you can't see her lips to see that she said it wrong. That made the movie. That's what we were looking forward to seeing again. But okay. I guess not today. So y'all, we have our next scene featuring some titties. So look, you guys. So that night, Jen has a dream, and she dreams that Baxter and Anna are fooling around, right? So we see them making out, and we see Anna's titties. And but the thing is, like, they're talking shit about this girl, right? They're like, look at her, she's such a fucking bitch. And all the mess that they're saying about her, right? And they're fooling around. So all of a sudden we get a shot of Jen sitting in her wheelchair, and she has no mouth, right? Now I'm assuming this is where like the budget went for this movie. Like, it actually looks pretty good, her not having a mouth. So Baxter gets up and he has like some kind of like razor blade or something. So he like slits her wrist and then he cuts her neck, right? And then of course Jen wakes up. Okay. So I'm guessing this is the next day or something. So Lynn takes Jen out the back way, just for some air, right? And first of all, see, this is again where she's wearing like crazy outfits, but her dialogue in this movie, you guys, is like Margot Hemingway's acting is bad, but Tanya Roberts' like dialogue in this movie is just awful. And also the way she talks to her employer, like, girl, I'm paying you to take care of me and you are talking shit to me.
Would you please just take me back into the house?
Jennifer, you know why you can't walk? Your ass is too tight.
So anyway, she calms Jen down, and then Jen looks up, and now there's a house that's next door that supposedly is abandoned. But Jen sees a man inside, and he ducks down when she looks up. And she's like, oh my God, there's a guy next door looking at us. And Lynn's over here like, okay, well, let him look. Shit. Like, no care in the world. And then Jen goes back to reading her book, and she looks up again, and now the guy was taking pictures. And she says it again, like, I saw him again, he's taking pictures. And Lynn is over here just like, okay, whatever. So, obviously, something's going on with this man and Lynn, because she just give a damn about what the hell is happening. So, look, you guys, that night, everyone's asleep in the house, right? Now, Baxter allegedly is at work, working late. So, the girls are woken up by someone hammering, like, super loud late at night. And so they're looking out the window and they see it's the man across the, next door with his windows all open, but he's like hanging up drapes in the middle of the night. But here's the thing. What's so funny is Tanya Roberts' character. She's sitting there peeping out the window, but look how she's dressed. Like, who does that? Like, I get it if you're sleeping naked, but you got like a robe or anything. But, yeah, that's funny. So they end up seeing Baxter up here at the bottom of the house, and he starts talking to the man, across the way. So now we're wondering, like, ooh, does Baxter know the man? Mm-hmm. And so they question Baxter, like, who's the guy next door? And he swears up and down, like, I don't know. I just heard the banging. I came and I talked to him through the window. So that's where we are with that. Alrighty, guys. So now it's another night, and Jen has another damn wet dream. Oh my Lord. So now this time Jen dreams that Baxter is screwing Lynn, right? So the dream starts off with her at the banister, and then Baxter walks up to her and pushes her, right? So now this bitch falls down the stairs for the third time in this movie. And now when she's at the bottom of the stairs, she looks over, and then you have Baxter and Lynn fooling around on the sofa. So, all right, it's been a while, but let's see some titties. So, and now this is like full blown. Like, this is super like full blown softcore porn right here. Bam. So they're doing it and doing it and doing it well, and all of a sudden Lynn starts like choking, right? And then she wakes up and realizes she's really choking. Apparently there's like this gas pipe in her room, and someone turned it on, so all this gas is just filled up in her room. And she crawls to the window so she can breathe, and then that's when everyone comes in. And apparently Baxter, of course, was out late, but he just so happened to walk in at the time she was dying. I still, after all these years, don't know what this pipe is. Is there supposed to be like a radiator or something there? Why are there gas pipes just sticking out of the wall? What the hell is that for? There's no fireplace. Even though that place looks like it should have a fireplace, but it's not. Okay, anyway, that's weird. So, yeah. So Lynn takes him into another room, and she's like, what the fuck? Why are you trying to kill your wife? He's like, I'm not. I wasn't even here. They were on to the next day, and Baxter goes out of town for a conference somewhere, right? So he's not going to be back till, I think he says, Sunday night. So Lynn takes Jen outside again, and she's talking about make sure you do your leg exercises, which comes up like 3 times in this movie, like, do your leg exercises. All of a sudden, these fools hear a gunshot, right? And they get up and they kind of hide away, like behind a column or something. And this man just, not even 2 seconds later, just kind of comes around the corner and goes, oh, hey, sorry, oops, I was cleaning my gun. Did you hear a gunshot? Sir, I have questions for you. Where were you cleaning your gun where after the gun shoots, You come around my corner like 2 seconds later. Were you in my yard cleaning your gun? What the fuck is happening? But that's what happens. He's literally there somewhere behind the corner. And so he introduces himself as a man named Ralph. And he's like, I fix jukeboxes and I'm at this store on Merrill's. You should come check it out one day. So Jen's like, well, I'm gonna go bring you some tea. So she goes in the house and she decides to call 411 just to see if this guy's story checks out, right? Okay, now come here, guys. Like, if you're young, first of all, why are you watching this video if you're young? But so back in the day, 411 was this number you call. So they just be telling everyone's business. You'd be like, can I have the phone number to so-and-so? And they're like, oh yeah, here you go, 555. They were just giving out phone numbers left and right. So she does that. She gets the phone number to this store, he said. And then the lady says, oh yeah, Ralph, whoever his last name is, he's the actual owner. So the name he gives checks out. Mm-hmm. However, you guys, oh, wait on, I need a drink for this. So once Jen confirms this guy's name is real, she looks out the window and she sees Ralph and Lynn kissing. Woo! How dare they? What are they doing? Do they know each other? Oh wait, my bad. I forgot to tell you too. So before this whole like gunshot situation, Lynn was talking to Jen and Jen was saying how she had like a family member who died or was dying or something. And she's either going to get $1 million inheritance or she has $1 million inheritance. I don't remember. But we do see the camera changes to a room across from their house, right? So the guy next door. And we see that their conversation is being recorded. Mm-hmm. Why is there a microphone in Jen's room and the man next door can hear the conversation? So then, with all that happening, I guess it's the same night. Maybe it's the next night. I don't know. But Ralph ends up coming to the house. He sneaks in the back door and he's talking to Lynn. He's like, are you ready? And so Lynn is wearing some, well, she ain't wearing nothing. She's wearing like some skimpy lingerie. And she leads him out into the backyard, right? And what's so funny about this house, too, I hate when movies do this. So Jen is upstairs in her bedroom, minding her own business, and now she can hear word for word the whole conversation that Lynn is having with Ralph downstairs, which is like far, far away. How are you listening to these people talk by the back door, and you're on the second floor of your bedroom? And this has happened maybe twice in this movie where she hears conversations downstairs, but then when people are calling her on the top floor, she don't hear. But yeah, so that's what's happening. So Jen is listening to them talk, and she hears that Lynn calls Ralph Neil. Who's Neil? So Lynn takes Neil to the backyard and turns on a boombox and is loudly playing this song. And then has sex with Neil. Oh, and then we see. So you're supposed to be keeping secret. Obviously, there's some secrets happening, right? But you're playing music loud as fuck. And now the whole neighborhood can hear you. Okay. So that happens. And I feel like they must have had like a license on this song because this song played in Jennifer's dream earlier in the movie. And now all of a sudden Lynn has a copy of the cassette and plays the same damn song. All right. So we know where the budget with the music is going. So, yeah. So then Baxter comes home and Jen's like, oh my God. I gotta tell you, like, there's something going on with Lynn, and she talked to Ralph, but Ralph is not his name because she called him Neil, and they were having sex. And then Baxter's over here like, what do you mean they just have sex in the middle of the living room on the floor? She's like, no, fool, like outside. Like, shut up and listen to my story. So then he starts to believe her. So he goes and checks Lynn's car and pulls out something, which I guess is supposed to be like registration, because we don't see what piece of paper he's looking at, but whatever's on that paper actually does say the name Neil something, right? So, okay, so Ralph is not Ralph, he's Neil. And Lynn knows him because that's the car Lynn is driving in. So then Lynn comes strolling up the street He's like, where the fuck were you at? Uh, so he confronts her, and then she's flipping the script and everything. She's like, I know you're trying to kill your wife, but look here. You could go ahead and kill her for insurance money that I'm sure that's why you're trying to kill your wife. However, I know for a fact that she either has or she's getting $1 million, which I kind of want. So maybe we can help each other out. So now Baxter's over here sitting and going, All right. So hold on. I just missed the part because this movie's stupid. Okay. So before Baxter came home and Jen told him what was happening, I think, right? Is that what happened? I don't know. But here, look, there's a part, you guys, where this is a guy named Jeff. He works in the office. I don't know what he does. But Jeff and Anna have been talking about some file that Baxter has of some lady whose last name is Comstock. I think the name is Comstock. Comstock. Something with a C. And he sees the file like earlier that day. And so later that night, he went back to Baxter's office and pulled the file and notices a picture that's in it. Now, Anna saw that picture earlier in the movie when she knocked the file off the desk. So she's like, when she first sees Lynn, she's like, I feel like I've seen you before somewhere. Well, it turns out Baxter has a file on this lady named Lynn, who he hired to take care of his wife. Okay, now listen, pay attention. What had happened was, Lynn worked for a man named Howard Comstock. Howard hired her to be the nurse for his wife. So Lynn she really is a nurse. So, well, she's a bad nurse. But anyway, he hired Lynn to take care of his wife. So the wife dies, right? And then after the wife dies, I guess Lynn must have seduced the husband, Howard, because they got married. But now that Lynn is Howard's wife, he somehow died, and now Lynn got all the money. Did you get that? So, this guy Jeff is telling this to Anna, right? But then we see someone is in the office. We don't know who it is. And that person stabs Jeff and throws him out Baxter's office window. And then we never find out who the killer is. I think they forgot to tell us later in the movie. So, yeah. So Jeff is dead. Someone killed it, or him. But who did it? Because Baxter came home late that night. And Lynn came home late that night. I assume it's Lynn, but why would she be in the office? Like, anyway, this movie's dumb. So the next day, Baxter goes to work and he's questioned by the cops. Like, someone jumped out your office window. It was Jeff. And then Anna comes in and she confronts Baxter about it. And she was like, no, he was murdered. And he was like, how do you know that? It was just an accident. He just fall out the window. She's like, no, he was in here because we looked at this file and you hired this lady. Are you trying to kill your wife? And he's like, no, I'm not trying to kill my wife. I needed a nurse. But he has this file about this lady who killed her husband and all this other stuff. Oh, Jesus. So, yeah. And then what's so funny is that we're still trying to figure out, did Baxter do it or not, because he just lets Anna go. Anna walks out the door and we don't see her for the rest of the movie. But she has this criminal evidence with her that I would think would be damaging. But anyway, let's end this movie so we don't see any more for the rest of the movie, sadly. So look, you guys, what happens is Baxter and Lynn had this plan where Lynn was going to convince Jen that Baxter's trying to kill her and she's going to get mad so that she gets fired. And then Baxter was going to calm her down. And then when she's not looking, when her guard is down, he will kill her, right? And also, Baxter came home and killed Ralph next door with the windows open. I like how he hung up these curtains at night. One night, but then the curtains are open late at night. So Baxter kills him with a tie. Or no, he kills him with did he strangle him with his tie? But he also beats him with the telephone, right? It's a non-blood scene, but he's beat with the telephone. And Baxter walks away with no blood or anything on his hands. But it's so funny because he does it like with the windows open. So just everyone can hear and see you. Stupid. So Lynn leaves and she's going to wait for Baxter to kill Jen. And then I guess they're going to run off together. I don't know. But Jen catches Baxter about to kill her. Like he's coming up the stairs like, ooh, I've been waiting for this. And he has his necktie in his hand. He's just, what's that called? When you do this with your tie? You know, you like take is there a word for this? When you like, you know what I'm talking about. So she wheels herself into a room and locks the door. So he's banging on the door and she's like, shit, I gotta escape. So what does she do? She takes the bed sheets and ties up the bed sheet onto the bed and tosses out the window. Now she's gonna shimmy out the window and down the sheets. But he breaks in and they tussle and she ends up falling. And you're like, oh, damn, Jen's dead. She fell for the 4th time in this movie. But y'all, something broke her fall. It's Neil's body. Or Ralph. You know who I'm talking about. So I guess Baxter drugged the body out the house and to the side of his house. Like, who does that? What kind of criminal are you? So Jen falls onto the body. And Baxter runs out the house and catches her. And then they're going back and forth on the ground. And somehow they get to like this pond or pool or something. And he tries to drown her in the water, right? But guess what? Lynn wasn't going to have it happen. So Lynn, all of a sudden out of nowhere, apparently came back to the house and got Baxter off of Jen. So now they're fighting over there. And all that talk of Lynn telling Jen to do her exercises miraculously made Jen legs normal again because she struggles and she gets up and she actually walks over. It's a miracle, y'all. She walks over to Baxter with a shovel and beats him to death. There's no blood, but I guess he's dead. And Lynn helps Jen walk back into the house and roll credits. Like, that's literally the end of the movie. That's not satisfying. So, does Lynn kill Jen? Because, are they homegirls now? Like, I don't know. Did she turn a new leaf? No. I assume she has to have killed what's her face. Like, who does all that just to be like, okay, girlfriend, let me help you in the house. Now, yo, I don't remember if I knew this or not. I'm going to lean to the side of no, because I feel like I would have watched it. But apparently in 1994, there was an Inner Sanctum 2. And I didn't look it up. I didn't see, like, the only name I saw attached to it was Margot Hemingway, right? Oh, Lord Jesus, they hired her again. So I don't know if Jen and Lynn are back in the sequel, like if it continues their story. I should probably watch it, right? I'll do the research on it and let you guys know. But apparently there's a sequel. So I don't know if it's a continuation of this story or not, and I gotta find out. So I definitely did not know about it because I would have watched it and remembered like if it's a piece of shit or not. So that's gonna be my new mission. Let's see if I can find it streaming on something. But you guys, that was Inner Sanctum. I'm pretty sure it was just some movie made for like, remember like back in the day when HBO showed like booby movies and what was it? Showtime After Dark. Oh Lord Jesus! All right, you guys. So that was what's the movie called? Inner Sanctum, right? It's stupid. Again, it was a time. I know there are like more movies that are softcore, but way better than this. Oh my goodness. So if I had to rate Inner Sanctum, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna give it 0. I'm gonna give it something for the nostalgia of it all. So you know what? I think that's my answer. Because like I said, it was me and my brothers just rent movies and just laugh at the stupidness and the bad acting and the special effects and all this other stuff. And there may be boobies here and there. But yeah, this is definitely like that first. I always remember it was the first one that we bonded over. Then it's so weird to say that too. But yeah, then it was like a weirdly like an anniversary, like years later when I saw it again. So anyway, rest in peace to him, and cheers to you all. All right, let's do this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, this movie, man. All right, guys. So let me know in the comments below. Have you ever seen Inner Sanctum? Do you want to watch it? Does anyone watch this movie anymore? Oh my god, it's so bad. All right, you guys. So that was did I just say that? All right, we gotta end this video. All right, so please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you all in the next video. Now I gotta think of another naughty video to watch. Alright, anyway, until then, TTFN.